All right. Looks like we're online here. So, let's just get into it here. Yeah, so I've added a new door type. Well, first of all, I guess you can show. I can show you here. We have a small amount of bugs here. Well, I guess not small, but you can see here the animation is playing very quick, and that's because we haven't been in this editor for some time. And when I switch back, the timer that is gets updated is yeah, it's basically there's a bug where it tries to play all the animations as fast as possible until it reaches the current time. So that's one bug that I want to fix, and also I want to add a feature here where I can right click to close all tabs or close everyone but this, and or close all to the left or all to the right or something like that. So I want to add those two features, the first thing that I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna add this new entity, the vertical door entity, into the game as well, and then probably gonna do some scene editing. So let's start there, and let's see, where are we? Here. All right. So let's fix that animation bug first. I think I have it written down somewhere here. Animation. Yeah, this one. So let's fix that. Now I believe that would be in the animations document. Let's see. Well, this is the editor. Let's see. It's gonna be in the persistent data somewhere here. And here we have animation. Right. So let's see. Where is the next frame at thing? Oh, maybe it wasn't here. Maybe that's in the non-persistent data actually. Or maybe not. Where is it? Next. Okay, let's go to the layout, I guess. I forgot how this worked now. Let's see, it should be like in the preview something. Preview window, here we go. And somewhere we should have the current frame. Yes, here we go. Oh, so it's over here. Current preview frame. Okay. And then we have update, which is happening somewhere. Well, okay, let's check where this is happening. Oh, it's happening here in menu, right? Okay. Okay, so it's happening here. I mean, we could put it in here. Makes sense. Makes sense to have it here rather than outside because it's the preview window. So, but anyway, this one, it gets next preview area frame at. All right, I'm storing it in the actual document itself. Okay. Well, okay. So here we're checking if it's less than or equal to get time, which means we should switch to the next frame. Then we set the current preview frame to the next one. we will then check if we have a frame. Wait. Oh yeah, we should always get a frame here, I guess. It's just a safety measure here to check. And then we have next frame. Yeah, so this is the issue here, because what if the time is way down the line? So what if the current time, because all this does is calculating the next frame preview at, which is in absolute time from when, or I guess it's relative from when you start the application. And if we just add the frame and frame duration and durations, yeah, if we just add this, then let's say the program was paused, you tab out, you tab in, the time has now increased by a lot, and this won't work, or yeah, because it's gonna like fast forward to the next. It's gonna try to play the animation as fast as possible until it catches up. So how would we solve this? I think I saw it in the game code by having like a pause timer. Wait. Wait, let me think about it. So let's say we just skip ahead. Because the thing is, if we modify this, then the animation could be like different each time. That's why I only add this every time. But let's say the T is like skipped ahead. How could we sort of detect that and fix that here? I guess we could sort of make a loop maybe, but that will sort of, or we could calculate each. We could maybe do the next best thing and calculate the total animation duration, which we have a function for, and then we can simply fast forward through all the total animation like playing through the whole animation until we're caught up to T. I'm just gonna do this as well. So we have animation total duration. So how many times do we need to loop through? So we need like the delta time from next preview at. So T minus this, because we know that T is larger. So this should always be positive. So then we can say times 2 fast forward, which wait. Okay, I'm just gonna say times 2 fast forward, and I will refine it. So this will be dt over this, and let's say, and also we floor it, right? So then time to fast forward will be times to fast forward times the total duration. Right, so we're basically calculating how many times the animation has played or could have been played through this entire thing. We calculate how much time then we need to fast forward, and then we simply say next frame at is plus equals time to fast forward as well. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, well, I guess we can just try it. And there's probably a way smarter way to do this. This is just... I just want to have a sort of quick solution here to just avoid the problem. Because it's also like if I... Let's say we play this animation here, that you can see here. This is how it's supposed to look. And then we go over here and we want to see another animation. Wait. Where is it? Door here. And then we see this animation here. And then we go back. Yeah. Okay, so it seems to work. It does fast forward a little bit until it caught up. But at least, you know, at least it doesn't happen a million times. Yeah. Okay, so that's good enough for me. Okay. Now, the next thing, the bug is still there, but I don't really care right now. The next thing I want to do is add a context menu here that I can close close all tabs, close everything but this tab, close everything to the left, or close everything to the right. So I want to add those 4 options. So let's go. Where is that? That is in somewhere. Let's go to the main function and we'll figure it out here. I forgot where it is. Right, here, document tabs. Right, so it's just here. Alright, so here we have a tab bar. And here's all the tabs in this loop here. And yeah, we have a tab item. Yeah. And so I think presumably it would be over here. We would add the context menu here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna check where we have it as well. I think it's... Where do we have the context menu? It's in... Right, it's in the asset manager. It's at the plus button here. Oh, this opens a pop-up, which I believe you could use as a context menu. Right. So let's grab that. Where do I set cursor position? Okay, whatever. So I want to say if the item is... Wait. Hovered. Is item hovered? Delay none is true. Okay, so if we're hovering and if mouse is mouse clicked, left, no, right, right. So if we're clicking right, so this should target, like the is item hover should target the item that was just rendered. And so we're checking if it's hovered and if the right mouse is clicked. Then we want to open a pop-up that we want to call something new. So this would be document tab context, or yeah, context. Let's just call it that. Right, and then we need to put that somewhere. I'll just make a new function. Let's see. Yeah, let's just make it over here. So document tab context menu. this would be, so we need the context. All right. And I believe you can say if something with pop-up here is pop-up open. Wait. Yeah, I think you have to check if the pop-up is open first or not. No, maybe not. Begin pop-up. Maybe that's enough. Okay, I guess the other one is if you wanna like programmatically check if the pop-up is open. But I think you only have to do this. So here's another. Yeah, here's another example that I have here. So we just call begin pop-up, and then you have a name, which is the document tab thing, and flags, which is you can have a bunch of different things. I think pop-up has like default. It's just a window, I think, but it's like defaulted to looking like a context menu, basically. All right, and now we can add a bunch of buttons or selectables, I think, or something here. So yeah, I guess we'll just add buttons. So if button, and this would be close all but this, something like that. Right, and then we call close editors except current. Right, so we have to make a bunch of functions here. Close to the left. Hey, Cube's animation. Hey, what are you working on? Is this NeoVim? So I'm working on a 2D Metroidvania game, and also I'm building like an editor to build the game as well. And yes, this is NeoVim. Is it close to the left? So we have to like calculate which editors to close. Right, so let's oops, to the right, and I will have just close all. Which we already have a function for. This just closes all the editors. Oops. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let's implement these things. I think we'll go. I will copy this. Go over here. Say close editors. Are you a developer as well? Cube's animation. Let's see. Right, so we basically want to do this, except. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a function called close editors by IDs. So this is basically the thing that I need, and then IDs is gonna be a list of IDs. There we go. All right, and then we'll do this, and we then check if we don't have standard here. So then you can check, if you want to check in a list, you use standard memory or standard mem stud.mem.index of, or you could also say contains, but let's see, except this is like you, the thing is that this thing here is not, you're not able to like say equals, I don't think, with this one. So it's gonna be, maybe we need a loop here instead. So I'm not sure if there's a built-in way to more easily check that, but I'm just gonna do a loop. So this will be, we'll look through all the IDs. If ID is equal, so if it contains the, wait, actually maybe there's like a any or all equal, no. So if the ID is equal, so we're looking for one match. So if we get one match, then we want to execute the code here. If we don't find a match, then actually, if we go through the whole entire thing and don't find a match, let's see, we continue. Yeah, then we just don't do this. But if once we find it, we can break because we're out there. Looks slick. I got into programming last year using Cursor, and I've heavily vibe coded since then using all the tools. Using Cursor, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with Cursor. I've done some Unity and Godot before, but I barely can code on my own. Okay. So you're a game developer. My most recent project, C++ game, custom engine FPS shooter. Oh, wow. But I mostly work on AI web apps and agentic coding tools. Oh, okay. So you're using the power of AI to build a FPS shooter game engine? That's impressive. I'm not sure if I would have the patience. I don't know. Maybe it's improved a lot. But when I tried to use AI to make something, it took a while to get it right, and that was just a simple thing. But I think I actually tried. I'm not sure which one it was now. Maybe it was ChatGPT, like the latest version or something, and tried the Pong example thing, and actually it worked really well to actually, and also to add more features and stuff. But I mean, that's a very simple project. How well do you feel it's working? And I get it, if you don't like programming, if you don't like spending time with it, I get it. Like, you just want to get something that works. I mean, I get the feeling as well. You know, if you could just conjure up a game that you imagine in your mind, that would be the way to go, I guess. But I don't know. I also like the act of programming as well. Programming is like a hobby for me, so. Wait, what the hell? Okay, I think let's just do this. See if that works. No? Oh. Where is that? Over here? Oh, yeah. It's awesome. You have to know your ways though, okay? Claude Code and Cursor are my main tools. Cursor is a VS Code fork with LLM support. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, if you can build a good like FPS shooter game engine, I feel threatened here. I'm gonna be replaced by prompt engineers. I felt good like a while ago when it was hard to get something just working as you wanna have it, but it's getting better and better. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll all lose our jobs. We'll see. I like it, but using AI has taught me more about planning and architecture than anything else. Right? What languages do you prefer and how long have you been coding? So I started to learn programming by like being self-taught about 30 years ago, but so that's when I like ignited my passion for programming. But I was very young and I didn't really, learn how to do a lot of advanced stuff, I guess. So it took a while, and then I didn't really do anything with programming, but I had it as a hobby, and I learned a couple of things here and there. And then I went to university for 3 years in computer science. And then 10 years ago, since 10 years, I've been working professionally as a web developer. But I'm trying to get into game development now. So why do you need to? I mean, okay, because in my mind, using AI is just like, okay, I want this. Okay, it gives you this. Okay, I want that. Okay, it gives you that. So what in like planning and architecture do you need to think about, or do you have to know a lot about coding, or do you have to know a lot about the game engine itself to be able to build it? I mean, you can't just say, build me an FPS game engine, right? My engine is pretty bare bone, but I got a floor, character, control camera, inertia weight system, and basic FPS controls. Raycast for shooting, and basic OpenGL rendering. Okay, cool. Can you show me your project a bit? Yeah, so let me just see if this compiles here. Alright, so here's, well, this is the editor, so but we can go in here and I can show you. So I'm building the editor and the game, but I can show you the game. Let's see, so you can press play here, start the game. Hopefully it doesn't crash now because I've been changing some stuff. Alright, so here's the game. So it's basically a Metroidvania 2D side scroller, you can say, with some RPG elements and yeah, puzzles and stuff. So it has, I think it's gonna have a lot of similarity with like Hollow Knight, but yeah. So you can talk to these people, you can turn in quests, get rewards and stuff. Yeah, it's a little, the graphics, I guess, is a little bit similar to Terraria. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the final graphics. This is just something that I made to have something to look at, to get some kind of feel for it. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I'm gonna upgrade graphics or if it's if it's just gonna stay the same. We'll see. Yeah, I made everything, basically everything myself. And so you have some enemies, they're dropping some kind of resource here, gems, and yeah, so you can go to different areas here, and then there's gonna be like puzzles. So let's say I open. So this was the last thing I added in the last stream, I believe. So if we go to this port, then there's a thing over here. So there's like a here. So this is like a puzzle. Well, it's a very simple. This is like the first example here, but you have this device that shoots sort of magical energy, you can say. And so you choose, you like activate doors like this. And then I'm gonna add more stuff like this as well. So yeah, that's, I mean, that's all basically some of the things we have here for now. Yeah, I mean, I do like the 8-bit vibe. I do like it. So I might keep it, you know. But I might wanna sort of upgrade it a little bit, you know. But yeah. So but that's the thing. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the style or if we're gonna change the style later or something like that. But this is sort of in pre-alpha, you could say, like pre-alpha, and but yeah, it's also a project that I'm doing on my spare time as well. So slow and steady wins the race, or whatever they say. So yeah. So let's see. Now I wanna continue here, and gameplay graphics. Yeah, change different different themes, or different, well, not themes maybe, but different eras. 16-bit, 8-bit. Maybe that will be like a bonus thing. I don't know. I mean, maybe modding, maybe. I don't know. But okay, so let's see. Close editors ID. So we get a bunch of IDs we want to close. Then we want to look for those IDs. We're looking for all the editors. We're matching the IDs. This is like a O(n) squared, but it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna have that many. And then we check if it matches. If it matches, we unload the document. We don't need to do this. We only need to do this if it's like empty, I guess. Also, we only need to set this to null if it's actually, you know what? Close editor. Oh, we can do this. Yeah. Close editor by ID. Wait, I have self. There we go. And then we don't really do this, I don't think. I guess we can have two different algorithms here. Alright. Building a whole 2D engine, so modding would be awesome. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna release the game or if it's gonna be complete, so and how much, you know. But it would be cool to build a system where you can do it. I mean, maybe it will boost people want to play it or something. I don't know. Let's see. But I mean, it's totally possible, I guess. I haven't looked into how, like, let's say Steam Workshop or something works, but Sure. Let's see. Closer. Closer. So now we have that. Now we can do. Well, we had this one. Close editor except current. So. I mean, I guess we could just loop through here as well. We'll loop through. We'll check if the thing is the current. All right, we'll do it. Current editor is, well, current editor is self, current editor. If we don't have a current editor, we will return. This is a nice pattern. I really like this. All right, so we get that, and then we can use this instead. So this would be UID. Right, and then we can just return after we've, no, wait. This is if it's, wait. No, we don't have this. We have if editor document get ID. That's right. So we get the ID. If it's equal to current, if it's not equal, then we close it. That's right. And then I also have to do here. This is .uid. Nice, thanks. You can also join my Discord if you want. I have like a server. Let's see. I'm gonna add you here. Wait, how? No. Oh, here we go. There we go. I sent it. All right. Let's see. There should be a link in the thing in description, I think. Let's see, close by ID. ID does not exist. Well, it's gonna be this. Let's just create the ID here to document. Get ID. There we go. All right. Actually, if we don't find the editor, we should just close everything and then return. So now we have that. Now let's go back here and we can now call these functions, except here we need to now calculate which ones are to the left and which ones are to the right. And I'm actually not sure how to do that because ImGUI actually allows you to reorganize them, I think. I'm just gonna do this for now. And I'm gonna test this. Okay, well, it doesn't really work. So yeah, oh yeah, so you can't move them. Okay. So they should have like the same order as in the list that we have. But why is that pop-up not showing up? Okay, I'll check the other pop-up and see. But that was just from a button. Oh wait, we do have new asset or asset input. Right. So this one. Is item clicked? I see. We could use that instead. Okay, well, let's try that. I'm not sure, like, if there's gonna be a difference here, because it feels like we're already doing that, so. But let's do is item clicked. I'm just checking here as well. We're beginning a tab item, and then we're ending it. Oh, maybe we should do it in there, actually. We should probably have it here. Right. And then this would be right. All right. No? It's like flashing this one. Okay. So maybe we're not able to, but we are checking is item active. Okay, let's try and move it outside again. So that we like call end, maybe that's better. No? Okay, I'm just gonna Google this. So, wait, this is for like a window. Wait, begin pop-up context item. So I'm not sure what this is. Oh, maybe you can use this instead. Okay, I'm just gonna try. Let's forget about this. And we'll do if begin context item. Whoops. And let's just add a button that does nothing. So you haven't tried any AI tools so far in the recent past? Well, I did try the Pong thing. I just tried it out, and it worked really well. It made like a HTML, a JavaScript thing with Pong, and then I could just add features to it, and it actually worked like almost I think, yeah, it did work like first try on everything that I added, but I just added like a couple of things, like that the ball would pause at the start, so it wouldn't like immediately go, so you don't have any time to like react when the game starts. And it also showed like the direction of the ball, where it's supposed to go, and that worked as well, I believe. And also like the ball is slower at the beginning and speeds up over time. So that, I think that was it, and that all like worked just by asking for it. I think that was ChatGPT, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure actually. Maybe it was something else. But yeah, it was some kind of a recent AI. It was maybe a couple of weeks ago or something. No, still doesn't work. Okay, I don't know. Oh, it even crashes. Oh, do I have to call end pop-up? Okay. Oh man, is it thundering outside? Oh shit. Well, we'll see how far we'll get here. Okay, there we go. Now we get that, but it only works for like the current thing. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll just do this. I'll remove all this, and then I only call this in here. Now we should get all the things there. But I want to have it for all of the pop-ups, or I mean all of the. Okay, and I'll make these into selectables as well, instead of buttons, because I think selectables look better in a list like that. Is that correct now? Try out QWEN3. If you're comfortable, share your code with them. Training is free, and they have a top of the line coder model, Qwen3 coder. You can use it to troubleshoot your IMGUI issue. Oh, okay, cool. I'm using old-fashioned troubleshooting, or debugging, or I don't know. Not debugging, but documentation hunting and googling and trying and trial and error. Don't want to force AI onto you, but I'm curious how people that can code leverage these tools. Yeah, I mean, I did use. I mean, it's probably a lot better now, but I did use Copilot for a while. That was like the auto completion tool for text editors to, basically autocomplete your coding based on like the context we're in and stuff. And it's probably a lot better now, but when I used it, I felt like it was just in the way. Like it never sort of did what I wanted to do. And sure, you could spawn a function really quick if you just describe the function and then you get the function. And you could sort of some things you could do more quickly, and especially like boilerplate type code, like when you wanna you type something out as a first example, then you want to do it a bunch of times, and it can automatically fill the rest in for you, which is really nice. So that kind of boilerplate code is really nice to use it for. But then after a while, I just felt it was like in the way. Like I didn't want to have that sort of noise disturbing my focus all the time, because most of the time it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I had a hard time like ignoring the code that it was like producing. So I just ended up turning it off, and I felt like I wasn't really. If I just use it to code all the time. I felt like I wasn't really coding the same way, and it felt bad. So I don't know. I just turned it off, and then I've been better off without it, I think. But maybe it's been upgraded. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again and see. But since I like coding, it's like I don't know. I don't really want to use a tool that's gonna think for me, if you know what I mean. And I wanna like think about how the code should work and then do it, and then that because I think that's just fun for me. Well, it's sort of like, I don't know. It's the same, it's the same, I guess the same for maybe, let's say, painters that want to paint a painting and then they use AI to paint for you. Like, they're not actually painting, they're just putting the idea in there and letting the machine produce something. And they could also, you could use it as a tool. Of course, you could use it as a tool to get some sort of, I don't know, background that you want to paint on or something like that. I feel like it's the same similarity in like, but I don't know. For it just feels different, yeah. And it's I don't know. I don't like it because I want to code myself, and yeah. It sets you in a different mindset that you don't really you think in a different way, and it doesn't feel the same. So, and I don't like the way it feels. So, yeah. All right. Now we still can't do these. I feel like it's kind of weird that you can't do this. Maybe it should focus this. Why is it not opening for the other ones? ImageGen was a good example. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I think it's like if you want to be creative and, have this feeling of accomplishment in a different way, then like it depends on what you want to do. Like if you just want something to work and if you just want something to be produced, then using AI should be like a good tool for that, a good way to do it, if it's powerful enough. Because why not? It does it way faster, and it's, yeah. You can tell it to do whatever. But if you wanna like be creative and in the like you want to feel like you're producing, like you're creating something, then yeah, that's much more what I want to do. YouTube already demonetized AI slop content. Thank you, YouTube. These fucking AI generated channels with AI generated content with just like lies and basically just hallucinated sort of quote unquote facts. Like I'm into like looking at space stuff, and I get these recommendations. I got these recommendations from like some weird like AI channels that just say some weird stuff that's not true. And you go in and you get this robot voice, and yeah, it's just you felt a little bit disturbed by all that. It's nice that they actually did something about that. I wonder what's gonna happen with like AI streamers, if that's gonna be a thing or not. I mean, I know there exists, but I mean, if it's done in a good way, I guess it's fine for me, at least. If it's like interesting. Yeah, the AI voice is like auto skip. Yeah. because you never know if is this just AI generated shit. It's has someone wrote this, but if someone wrote it, why would they use like AI? I also hate that AI voice. You know, when you open a video and it's like, is that AI? I don't know how to describe it. There's like an AI voice that just describes what's gonna happen. Also, I hate the videos. If we're on topic here on hating videos, I hate the videos that has like it explains everything that is currently happening in the video, even though you can see what's happening. I really hate that concept. It's so brain dead. I mean, I get the captions if you're like deaf or something, but or maybe okay, let's say you're blind as well. I guess it's for it could be for the blind, but I don't know if it's that or if it's just for people who have no attention span and they just want to get as much information as possible in the shortest amount of time possible or something. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. AI is gonna change the world 1,000 times more than the Steam engine did. The old Steam. I was thinking about Steam, like the game platform. Doesn't mean it's all gonna be bad, but ultimately it's the tool for total control. Yeah, I mean, I really like it as a tool. I mean, I'm all for new technology that's gonna help us build better things. It's like, why hate on that, And I also feel like a lot of the fear mongering that was going on with AI when ChatGPT was first came and you had these professors and stuff that was like, oh my god, this is like we don't know what this is gonna do, and it was like I was thinking like, what? It's just a program, it's just a program where you put in something and something comes out. That's all it is. It's not gonna take over the computer and you're not gonna have Skynet unless someone like builds Skynet. It's not gonna do it itself, that I guess that's maybe the thing. But the AI in itself, it's not really gonna do anything. And I mean, even like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's just focus here. So why is this only happening for the current? Is it just because when you get in here, that's like the current thing? Let's move it outside, I guess, and we'll see. Yeah, it is just a program, and yeah, that's it. There's nothing to it. It's an algorithm that is. It's just a program that does something that most people don't really understand, and it's kind of depressing, I guess, to see people. I mean, I saw in the news that some people actually get attached to. I mean, okay, yeah, has been happening for a while. Like people get attached to AI partners and stuff, but then they actually believe that there's an actual consciousness or soul or whatever, and it's just. Then you could just believe that every computer has a soul in that case, if that was the case. It's just because it talks to you like, sort of like a human. That's the only difference. Okay, so... Wait, what was it? Oh, yeah. Okay, now we get this. Right. Nice. Okay, so how do we know but this? Is that how do we know that? We have to have... No, that's not going to be like except current. This is wrong. Except... No, this is that. There we go. Close this. Yeah. Okay, so we can put in an ID. It will close everything except that ID. Right. Except, and then we get an ID here, which is active ID. No, not active. This is the. Yeah, it's just the ID. Let's just add it. There we go. Okay, so which ID would this be? Do we have it? We have ID, I believe, here, yeah. So this is gonna be the ID there. All right, now let's try this out. I've met those people. Oh, okay. It's mimicking, yeah. Thanks for the chat. I really like the way you think out loud, makes it much more valuable. Oh yeah, thanks for joining me. Yeah, have a good one. See you later. Okay, let's try it out. So let's just try this. Close everything but the it crashes. Okay, no more. Wait. Oh, that's a non-error here. Okay, let's check out the crash. Right, we got a seg fault. So, yeah, that means the content is not there, I guess. All right. Why? Oh, it's because we are closing them off as we are looping through. That might be the thing. So we might need to create. Right, so that's probably the issue. This is, yeah, this is definitely changing the thing. Okay, so what we need is we need a list. Let's just make a list here. Maybe even a buffer list. Actually, no, let's just make a heap list here. So we'll make a IDs here. So this is going to be array list. No, not aligned. Let's do this, and this will be UIDs. And we'll init with, yeah, let's just init with some capacity here. Let's just init with, like, I don't know, 100. Sure, why not? And then with initialize. Wait. All right, capture unreachable. With initialize with allocator. Right, so we're making this list, and now we have to populate this. Append assume capacity. Well, we can't really assume capacity, I guess. We can just append, because it might go beyond. We'll append this. Right. We need to catch unreachable. Right, so now we get a list of all IDs that we wanna add. We're not changing this list that we're iterating through while iterating. Now we can go through all IDs here and call close on those. All right. Let's see. Let's call this, I guess we can call this editor ID. All right, that works, or should work. Let's try it, and then we have to I think we have to do this in the others as well, but I'm just gonna check if this works first. Member function expected 2 arguments. Append. All right, you need allocator as well. Yeah. There we go. Let's check this out. All but this. Nope, still crashes. Alright, still segful, still doing this. Okay. Oh, you know what? It might be. Right, okay. I know what the problem is now, because, well, the iterating through while modifying the list should also be a problem, but the problem now is that we're probably still, like, we're closing the things in the UI here while we are also still using the document. So what's gonna happen here is either we can get a list of IDs to close from this function and then we close it at the end. Actually, that's what we're doing here. Right. Actually, you know what? We can just continue using this. Oh yeah. So let's do this. Let's put in a modifiable IDs to close thing. What type is this? A bounded array. So yeah, let's just put that in here. So this would be a bounded array. How much was it? 256. Okay. UUID 256. There we go. So we'll add that in there, and then we'll say we'll add this there. So now this can modify which IDs to close. So we'll not close. I guess we'll not close the IDs directly. So we don't really need these functions now. But we do need this function. So that was good that we did this function. But we don't really need this function. So I guess we can keep it around, you know. But what we do need is we need to calculate now the IDs to actually close. So yeah, I guess we can do it here. So let's go through all the editors. And we check if this is equal to this. Wait, no, if this is equal to editor document ID. If it's equal, well, if it's not equal, then we add it here. Actually, what the hell? What do you mean by assumed capacity? Like, what is this? Oh, it's overflow. But assumed capacity should also... Wait. Add one, assumed capacity. What's the difference? This is ensuring. Right, so the one throws an overflow error, the other one just crashes, I guess. Okay. Well, let's just assume capacity. Let's say we can't have more than 256 documents open at one time. And if we get that far, then I guess we can fix it. So we'll add the item. The item is going to be editor document. Let's just do this. Editor get ID. All right. So we add that there. Right. And then we don't do this. We move that. And these ones we don't do either. And this one we basically close all. So we basically do this. But then we don't have to check. We just add it directly. All right. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Now these ones we want to calculate. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, this is just looping through it like this. Well, now we can call close editors by IDs, and we can use the slides like this instead. All right. Now we need to calculate these ones, but let's just check if this works first. Oh, we got a thing here. Oh. All right, let's just make the compiler happy there so we can run the program. Okay. No, still crashes. Interesting. Is it the same issue? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be that if we're closing like the current document, let's say, then we're going through here and we're still, the current editor should not exist by this point. So that should like be null. So we shouldn't get in the editor menu if the document tab's actually closed the thing, right? And it shouldn't even go in here either. But what we could do is we could check if this returns true, then we also return true. So that's like a safety exit thing. Like we exit out of the current frame if we like closed an editor, I guess. Or maybe if we close the current editor. I think what will, like, we're gonna check if IDs to close length is more than 0, then we return true. So now if we close anything, it's gonna return true. That's gonna like is exit out of the current frame if all goes well. Otherwise we return false. So that means we never do the rest of the things in the UI. So no, we still get a crash. Okay, let's see where this is crashing. Source document, context editor, 49, layouts to like close editors by ID. So it is. Oh, you know what? Right. So it's the same issue here as we had before. We are looping through while we're deleting the thing. So yeah, I forgot to actually change this. We changed it here in the function that we actually don't use now. So where is that? Over here. Yeah. so let's do that. We just need to copy. Where is it? Here. Copy the IDs. No, we don't need to copy any IDs here. What we need to do is we need to loop through the IDs and just call close on it. That's all we need to do, eh? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was doing before, but now it should work, hopefully. Okay, there we go. And you can see it's sort of flashed here, and that's because for one frame we just cancel out. I'm not sure if we actually need to do that, but yeah, let's just keep it like that to make it sure that it's. Well, I mean, I guess you could fix it. I guess it looks a little bit bad. Yeah, let's just have, because we do have a failsafe, because the current editor is set to null, so that means we know that we don't have an editor. So after this point, we are actually checking here if we have a current editor. If we do, we do the whole editor thing. Otherwise, yeah, we have it, so it should be fine. Okay, now let's try and open up a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, wait, where's the error? What is going on? Oh, why am I not getting that error here? Let's see. Okay, so we'll just open up a bunch of I don't know, entities and animations. Okay, and then we'll go. Where were we? Well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so that also works like closing everything except one something else. Like if we have buttons, animations here, we're closing all but this, that works, yeah. And then we open all, we do close all, it just closes all. Okay, yeah, that works. Nice. All right, so one thing left then is closing everything to the right and to the left, which is, I guess it's not that important, I don't know. It's just a nice to have, I guess. It's just, it's a thing that I saw. It's a little bit weird, but it's a thing that I saw in like the Chrome like in the Chrome dev tools, in the sources tab, you have a bunch of, you can have a bunch of documents open there, and they have like close to the left and close to the right. So I'm not sure, like I've used it sometimes, but oftentimes just because you get like a whole bunch of documents open at the same time, and then you just wanna, you know, clear it to focus on something. But close to the left and close to the right is like, it really depends on the context if it's like useful or not. Maybe we should just skip these. It could also be like you open up a bunch of things when you go into a rabbit hole, and then you just want to close all of them. So you do close to the right. Probably better. This is probably more important. But let's just do them. All right. So, so IDs to the left. This should just be. I mean, this should just be like you get the index of the current ID here, and it should be. Let's go through editors, like opened editors. And we have the editor here, and then we say if editor, if the ID matches with this, then we break with I. Otherwise, we return. If we don't get an I, yeah, let's just return. So we should get an index, and then IDs to the left should just be context open editors keys, or .map.keys, because keys is ID array hashmap. Yeah, the keys are UIDs. So the keys, and then we do a slice here. So we do from 0 to I, maybe, or is it I plus 1? No. These are the ones we want to delete. That's right. And then we say IDs to close, and we can say append slice. Let's assume capacity. Right. So now it's appending that slice. Oh, right. We need to have the index here as well. All right. IDs to the left. There we go. So we calculate the index of the ID that we have for the context menu. Then we take all those. We make a new slice from 0 to that index. That should exclude the index itself. Then we say, hey, we want to close these ones. And IDs to right should be the same thing, except it's going to be I plus 1 to the length. So it's just going to be dot dot. However, if I is equal to length minus 1, then this, I think this is going to be like an index out of bounds error. So we have to check if I, whoa, there's some thunder happening. If I is equal to open editors map, is there like a count? If it's equal to the count minus 1, then then we just return, because then we don't close anything, because we are we're choosing like the rightmost tab and choosing close all to the right, because there's nothing to the right, and we don't close anything. Okay, let's try this. Right, let's open up a bunch of stuff. So let's try that first. Close to the right, doesn't do anything. Let's do close to the left, doesn't do anything. Close to the left there, okay. Close to the right. All right, nice. Nice, that all works perfectly. Cool. Yeah, that was all I wanted to do on the editor for now. So, great. Right, so what did I say we want to do now? I think, oh yeah. So let's go over, maybe over here. Yeah, I think I want to change this a little bit. So I did add a new type of door, with like this vertical door. Open like the animations. You can see here we have this door here that opens like this, and I need to add this to the game code, and yeah, and then I also want to change this scene a little bit. So I want to add this door here, and then a button to enable it. So yeah, I can just add it here. I want to change the time map a little bit. So we need to open up here. Oops. Let's see, where is it? This one. So we want to open this up like this. And probably we want to have, where do we have like the moss on the right side? Here. Yeah, let's just add some moss there. Fine. Yeah, fine. So let's do that. Actually, we can delete this one because it's not gonna show up anyway. So we'll save that. Go back to the scene. So now we have this here. And then we also want to add this. Let's just put it, I mean, we could just put it here, I guess. And then we need to link this to the door. Like this. Alright, so now this is linked here. It would be nice to also add, you know, the visual thing where if you have an entity that is linked to another entity, it's gonna like draw a line or, you know, have some sort of preview window or something that shows which one it's like connected to and vice versa. But I don't think I'm gonna do that right now. I'm probably gonna, I mean, drawing a line shouldn't be that hard. Like if it's in the same scene, because you can choose a different scene if you want. But if it's in the same scene, I guess drawing a line wouldn't be that hard to do actually. Maybe we'll do that as a bonus later. Alright, but anyway, so now this is like this. Now we need to change these things here. This should be 4 now. And we have to move this over here. Alright, and same thing with you. There we go. Right, and let's go to the target scene as well. Now we need to change this a little bit here. Open up like this. Yeah, you can see that this isn't really done, but it's gonna change. 4. There we go. All right. And we can move our starting position over here, and we can play, except this is not gonna work. So this door is not gonna spawn because it doesn't exist. Also the other thing, it's like in the wall, so it doesn't it's not showing. So I need to also change the time map here. Now we need to remove this part. There we go. Or we can make it in the background, but I'm just gonna remove it. So now it should show up there. Yeah. But the door doesn't work because the door doesn't exist yet in the game. So we have to add the door. So let's do that. I'm gonna make sure everything is saved here because we don't have like a unsaved changes warning yet. So let's just save everything here to make sure we don't lose any progress here. Okay, so let's go to the game code now. All right, so this is gonna be, I think, in the well, first let's go to scene. So here we have all the different entity types that can be spawned from the editor, basically. So we're gonna have a door vertical. Oh, yeah, I just realized that I need to I need to change the name, I think, of this entity. If you look at the entity, this one, for example, this has like, what you call it? Is it camel case? Yeah. This has camel case. There's no dashes in here. This is kebab case. So we need to change it to kebab case because Sig. Well, I guess technically Sig can have kebab case as well, but it looks horrible. So I'll change it like this. Now this is the name that's gonna match in the game editor here. So let's go back here, and now it's gonna match this one. Now we need a separate door type for this, so I'm gonna add that as well. I mean, I guess it's gonna be the same thing actually for this part. This is, oh yeah, so this is gonna be the same thing actually, yeah. So now we go over to spawn. Right, so let's see. Now this would be door. Right. A door vertical. It's gonna be the same thing. There. And then we have door over here and door vertical. Door device. We could maybe have the same underlying struct here that just has a flag that it's like vertical. We could add a different init maybe. And I will call, no, wait, no, let's just add a bool, I guess. Let's just add a flag here. This is gonna be toggle. Wait, this is wrong name. I copied it from something else there. Well, I guess technically we could make this have a thing there, maybe. No, let's just say it's vertical here. It's vertical. But does it really matter? Yes, it does, because it's gonna have a different size. Yeah, it is gonna have it's gonna have a different size. So properties is vertical. And this is probably really bad. This isn't really scalable, you know. But I'm just gonna force this in here for now. All right. Right. So now you are not vertical and you are vertical. So let's do that. Init device. Oh, wait. No, it's gonna be you one. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so now we also have the animations. Where do I have the animations at? Here. We need door vertical. And we need to grab the ID. Now this is still like pretty stupid part here, but animations, we need to copy the ID and paste it in here, but wait. There. Okay. I probably want to make this into so that it searches for a name instead, but yeah, this is how we do it now. Okay, so now we have the animations there. And what else do we want to do? Right, so we want us this. So now this get animation. Well, that's going to be the same thing. Yeah, get animation looping. Hitbox is going to be different though. So if, so let's, the size is going to be if, oops, if we are vertical, then this is going to be 32 by 64. Wait, no, yes, yes. Oh yeah, wait, vertical? No, wait, it's horizontal. Man, I okay. The door is not vertical. Okay, I did it the wrong way. Okay, whatever. I'll fix it later. So, vertical is gonna be on the height is gonna be longer. Yeah. If it's not vertical, it's horizontal. So then it's gonna be 64 by 32, and we'll change this to size. There we go. Right. I wonder how I want to do this. Probably want to... Yeah, whatever. I'll fix that later. Okay, so now we have the hitbox should be fine. However, the animation here is... This depends on... Is vertical. So if it's vertical, we want to use... Actually, we want to use door now. I'll change this now to horizontal. All right. There we go. And we also need to change here. So this is actually not vertical now. This is like horizontal. It's a bit confusing here, but this is horizontal and this is false, and then here it's gonna be true. There we go. Yeah. All right. So let's, is there anything else we need to do? I don't think so. It shares, like everything else is gonna share functionality with the old door, the vertical door. So yeah, I'm is it launching or no? Let's launch the editor and we'll launch into the scene that we had. Where's that scene? Here. Let's launch into here. It's gonna take a couple of seconds to compile. I should add like a little label there that says compiling. Yeah, and you can see here we're walking on the door. The door's hitbox is, I guess, is a little bit weird. But I'm not sure if this is going to be like the final graphics of the door. It looks a bit weird to me, but I just added something that that works here. And so we now do this, so that opens the door. And if we jump up again, it doesn't keep the state. so it's still closed because we don't save the state of the machines. Should we do that? I'm not sure if we should do it or if we should reset. I think for now it does speak to. We do probably want to keep. Maybe it's like depending on the instance. Like maybe we have a flag that says this should be persistent. The state of this should be persistent. And then we actually store it, because that's possible, because we have the ID of this entity, so we could just store the ID in the game state and persist it like that. And then when we load in the scene, it's gonna load in that state. So that's totally possible, because then you can have puzzles that reset when you enter, or we could have that everything is permanent, or everything is persisted, and those puzzles that actually requires you to reset, you can have like a reset button or something. Maybe. I think we're gonna do that everything is persisted, I guess. So we'll start there, and then if we want to build in that only some things are persisted, then we can build that feature out. So let's do that. Let's go to load. Yeah, so here we're loading a save. We also have another, so the save is persisting some things. The save should also persist this. Yeah, so yeah, so we have the save here. This is this here is the save struct, which only saves quests and dialogue state and some other stuff here, like max health inventory. So here we can add the end. I guess, what would this be? I mean, the game knows about like doors and I guess device types. Yeah, so everything that is a device, it could store sort of the state for. So this could be device states, and let's make it into a list. So here's the serialization part. So we could technically have it as any type, and then we serialize it to however we want. So we'll make this type into something that is as easy as for us as possible to use, and then in the serialization, deserialization, we can serialize and deserialize however we want. So this could be, well, actually this could be a map from ID to state. Now what would the state be though? Like it should be like different for each logic, like each device. Because technically, like the devices could have different states. Like this one has like a whole bunch of different states. I guess opening and closing, well, doesn't really make sense. But then we have toggles, buttons. That's all the devices we have. But we could technically add more devices that has different types of states. So I think each type of device has to have its own state here. So I think what we'll do, we'll make a sub thing here. So all devices. So let's have doors. And let's make this into, let's see. Oh yeah, so this is an auto array hash map. No, wait, what? I thought we had like an ID array hash map. Yeah, because oh no, because these are enums. That's right. Or do we have ID array hash map? Yeah, we do have ID arrays. Okay. So let's make this an ID array hash map from. Yeah, it's my own sort of thing. ID array hash map equal to. Wait, I don't have. Oh, okay, let's just import it. There we go. So it just takes one thing because the key is always an UUID. The type is going to be a, I guess it's going to be like a device store. Wait, device type door device. Yeah, door device. There we go. Doors and then toggles. There we go. So that's our two devices. Now every time we make a new one, we have to add it here. Right, and we don't need to store every state. We just need to store those states that I guess that's different from the initial state. All right, but now we have the means to persist it. We just need to fill in some blanks here. So this will be devices, doors, deinitialize. All right, and when we save, can we use this to save it? Is the question. I think we can actually. This uses like a generic write value here. It should support. Well. We could actually build in a CBOR encode function into UUID if we don't already have one. We have deserialize. Wait, deserialize. Yeah. Deserialize. Let's see. We need to check this. So we need to go here, and then if it's a struct, we're checking for CBOR encode. We just call CBOR encode with a writer. This writer is just a standard stream writer thing, and what we can do is we can do this. Oops. All right, and what we do is we say. Wait. No, we just say write. No, print. Self. Because we can just do this actually because we have the format function. Okay. I mean, we could do this as well, but now we're utilizing the format function here. Okay, that should work. All right. So now that's done. So the UID should actually be fully encodable. We also need to decode it. So we're matching the map here. We need to match. We do extract, right? And the extract uses this function to extract. So this is the deserialization part. Now, if the thing is a struct, we go down here. If it's a struct, we also check here if it has cbor extract function, which should produce the value that we're interested in. It's just calling with iter here, which is a mutable slice of bytes. So yeah, here, iter there. So we can also have cbor extract, and we have iter, which is this type, and we provide this type out there. And I guess it could be a, no, it's just returning. It doesn't try anything. I guess technically it could return an error, I think, but yeah. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to extract a string. We want to do like basically this. We deserialize. Wait, we should use this function, deserialize. No, because we're gonna get a no, wait, we did no, yeah, because we're dealing with like a cbor, we're dealing with a cbor data type here, so we have to use cbors to get the thing. Actually, this, I'm not sure if this works either. Writer, wait, cbor encode is weird. Let's say cbor encode. We have the writer. No, we have to use like cbor. Yeah, we have to use like, yeah. So the thing with cbor, we have to make a cbor value. This doesn't work. This just writes the thing as a string, I think, like a JSON string. So what we need to do is we need to say cbor. So we have to import cbor, and we have to say cbor write value, and the value is just self UID. Now this is just a U128, so it should be able to write this. Yeah, and forget about that. Okay, yeah, that's the way to do it. And then for extract, now we want to do match value. I guess we could do int. No, wait. No, match value. Or is it? Yeah, it's match value. Match value. We take iter here, and then to get a type out, we have to say cbor.extract a U128. No, we have to make the UID here, which is a U128, undefined, and then we pass it as a pointer, so that will populate now this UID with the value here. And we can get an error, so let's do this, and then we'll say try. And if it returns true, if this returns false, it means it didn't match. So that should be like an error. Invalid. I don't know. Invalid type, let's just say. I don't know. Some kind of error here. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah, so then what we do is we return this. Actually, we can just return this. Okay. Oh. Let's call it this, I guess. Right, so now we're writing a proper CBOR value here, which is just the U128. So it's actually a very small representation of, it actually fits really well, this UID. We don't need to store much for this ID. I mean, it's 128 bits, but which is, I guess, excessive for an ID. But it is at least it's not the full, what is it, 36 or whatever bytes, which is the string representation. Okay, and then we read in that value and we create our UID serializable from it. So now this should work well with the CBOR thing now. All right, so now we should be able to just use write array map to write this map type. Writer devices doors and toggles. All right, so now we're writing those. And when we're loading, we should also match this map as well. Source devices toggles. There we go. Now this one actually, it takes like any type of map. So as long as the map itself actually like has these functions. So the thing with these ones is that we probably, yeah, we want to do dot map here, because that's like the inner map. So we have to pass the inner map there. Yeah. And map, so map pointer can take any type. So we just assume that it has all of the functions that it needs here. Ensure total capacity, the initialize, like all of these are like standard map functions. So as long as that all works, it should work. Okay, we're missing a struct field, devices. Yeah, devices, doors. Yeah, so we do have an empty for that. Toggles, empty. All right. Right, so here is where we actually want to create this data, and it's going to be interesting, because when you transition to another scene, those entities are gone. So where would we store that data is the question. We do have a place where we store sort of persisting things. persistent state. So this is state that is not supposed to be saved, but, well, it might not be saved, but it's state that is sort of persisted between scene transitions so that weird things are not happening, basically. And so here we're persisting some player stuff. So basically, yeah, all things here are persisted, like everything in these things here. So player is like, we have health component, player component, everything here is persisted. We should also keep, then maybe here we should also have like a list of, like maybe actually here we keep the hash map for all the devices that has been toggled. So this would be devices. And we have doors. And toggles. We need ID array hash map. Okay. Toggles. Toggles could actually be a cool name for, or a funny name for a race of machine people. I'm actually planning to have that, like a small small creatures that build machines and they help you in various ways if you like help them with some quests and stuff. Alright, so let's see, doors and toggles, yeah, so let's start out as empty. Store, yeah, so store, this is called, I think, right when before a transition of, so this is called here, yeah, right when before we are transitioning from one scene to another scene, we're storing the persistent state, then we unload the scene, we load a new scene in, and then we restore the persistent state. As well. So storing will, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find all the devices with a view, basic view. It's going to be C device type. So this is a view for that. And we're gonna loop through all of the those. And we're gonna switch on that. And this is gonna be door. So door has one thing, and then toggle has one thing. Okay. Now what we want to check for door, basically, if, let's say if, well, okay, yeah, if door state is equal to open and door properties initial state, which dot value. So if the initial state is true, that means the door is open. So we have to check if this is false. We can do this. Initially open. This needs to be true. Okay. So if the state is open and it's initially open, or if it's not initially open, then we need to store this in the persistent thing. So this will be door get, I guess get or put. We also need the allocator. And the key is gonna be wait, hang on. Yeah, this is an idea, right? Ashmap. Yeah, it's just gonna be the key is the UU ID. So that's just gonna be wait, what ID do we have? All right, that's right. So we need to get the entity ID like this. Get entity ID from this always happens. We have to change this entity. We have to get the device type like this. Device types get entity. Right, that's the device type. Then we have entity ID is this. All right, so that's the thing there. And then now we can use entity ID dot ID. Right, so we're getting or putting that. We should catch unreachable. And this is the entry. And now we can say entry dot, it doesn't matter if you found existing or not. We just want to say that the value is going to be equal to, wait, what is, no, wait. Right, wait, this is, so we only need, I think we only need a state. Right, which is in devices, or okay. I'm just gonna do this. There we go. All right. There we go. So we just need to store the state. Right. And now the state here should be open. Yeah. so we need to save the state. Actually, let's do this. Should save state is, let's say it's false. And here we set it to true. And then at the end we say if should save state because it doesn't matter what the state is, we can get the state from door.state. Right. So we're calculating if it should save the state. And I mean, I get you could also do this. You could do this and then have or and all the different cases here, but it is gonna look bad. But yeah, if the state is closed and we're initially open, then we also should save the state. Okay, so it should save the state. We do all this. This is setting the thing there. Okay. And it's basically gonna be this. It's gonna be the same thing for toggle. Except this is like initially on, I guess. All the doors are toggles. And this is toggles. Yeah. Except for these ones, which is not open. This is on and off. And now this is not mutated, so there we go. All right. So basically, we check if it should save the state. However, if it should not save the state, then we should actually remove the entry, because we don't want to store things that are unnecessary. So we can actually do remove, fetch, swap, fetch, order remove. So we can do a swap remove because the order doesn't really matter. Swap remove, because if the thing doesn't exist, returns true if an entry was removed, false about it. So it doesn't crash, you know, if it doesn't exist. It just says, okay, it wasn't actually removed. So it doesn't matter if it exists or not. We just want to remove it. So that should be enough there. So now we can add that over here as well. And there we go. So now we're saving that state for the current scene when we are like unloading it. So that should be now stored in these arrays here. Right, and let me just check here. So yeah, so the persistent state is part of the game struct. So it's actually gonna persist through the entire application. So that's perfect because now, yeah, it's already sort of saved, which it should be. I mean, it is the persistent state after all. Okay. Now now it's pretty easy because now we can just, when we want to save, we just need to look at these things and store them as the save stuff. So let's go back to the save struct now. Also, I think we need to change these here. So we don't need to store the entire device. We just need to store the same thing here. So door.sig. Wait. Yeah, door.sig state. Yeah. And this is the same thing. Toggle state. There we go. Right. So let's see, where do we, yeah. So now here we can just copy that actually, because the save is sort of
is temporary struct anyway. So we can just, however, we don't. Oof. So we don't want to deinitialize it though. Actually, yeah, the save is actually never deinitialized. Or is it? Temp save. I guess it's deinitialized at the end, but then that's gonna be like a error because we're deinitializing these several times. Well, that shouldn't be. Yeah. No. I don't think we should do this. I don't think we should have a deinitialize for the save. Because it doesn't have anything, it does it on its own. It just copies things that already exist and uses it. So we should just remove this. Yeah. There we go. Alright. However, the persistent data, where is that? Game persistent data or persistent state. Oh, we don't do anything with this. This should be deinitialized. We should have a deinitialize function on this one. Except the only thing that needs to be deinitialized are these two. But that's fine. And it doesn't really matter because it's like at the end of the program anyway, but yeah. Deinitialize void self persistent state. And we need an allocator. Right, so we'll do devices, doors, deinitialize. And let's just add a deinitialize function here actually. Because then it's more clear that, okay, we need to add, if we add something here, we need to add it here as well. So let's just actually do this. This is more visible. Alright. Whoops. Okay, so now we do that. Now we need to call the initialize on here, so we need to do that. Let's just do it here. Persistent state initialize. There we go. All right. Now let's continue here. So we need doors. We just copy over game persistent state devices doors and toggles. We'll also copy that over. There we go. Okay. All right. So technically, now we should store at least the initial state, or I mean the changed, everything that gets changed should now be stored. Count does not exist on. Wait, what? Oh wait, this should be .map. That's right. .map. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Error union is ignored. Oh yeah. Let's just do try. Seaboard extracts. What? Oh. Wait. Oh, I see. It needs to do this. I see. Yes. So the destination is a pointer to the thing. So we already have a pointer to where it should be populated. So it shouldn't return anything. It should just yeah. Or this is a bool, I guess. It should return a bool. So it should okay. So this returns false if this is false. Otherwise we return true. But then here we say self is equal to this. That's there we go. I think. Yeah. What's going on here? So expected type found const. Okay. So this just needs to be a pointer, and then by extension this also needs to be a pointer, and that should be good. All right. So technically now it should store everything. The only thing that's missing now is restoring the state. So store here is working. However, the store is basically only, like this part is only used for the saves. Then when we restore, should we restore it from here or from the saves? I think we probably want to do it from the save. So because that's gonna be where we're gonna get, like, let's say it's the first time you load up, we restore the save. That's the actual data that we want to have. So load the save. Yeah. Load the save. Load save 1. Well, I guess technically we could say, like, when we load the save here, we could populate the persistent data. Actually. Yeah. Wait, but this one's used. We just save. I think we're just saving one when we exit the program. We're not saving each scene. Maybe we should save at each, like, scene transition as well. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some more coffee and I'll be right back. All right. Hello, AI Shoko. How's it going? Welcome. What are you working on? I'm working on a 2D Metroidvania side-scroller game, and also an editor to build the game. Are you a Choco? Okay. Are you a game dev or a developer? Let's see. I am on Linux. Well, I am on Windows, and then WSL, which is Windows, like built-in Linux for Windows. But then when I run the program here, it's actually running on Windows. But I'm editing in Linux. Oh, you're a computer science student. Cool. Started Gamedev recently. Nice. It's really fun. I've always dreamt about making games. So I've been a web developer for 10 years. But I really wanted to get into game dev, really, but yeah. Things didn't turn out like that, but now I'm doing it, so in my free time, basically. Are you, so, alright, so, so are you using like Godot or something, or Unreal Engine, or, let's see. What was I doing here? Oh yeah. So the thing that we're doing right now, I'm doing like persistence. So we have these devices in the game, like logical devices, like buttons and doors and toggle things. And so I'm working on right now is persisting those in your save file, and also like during transitions from like between scenes. Oh, thank you for following. Yeah, sure. I'll see you later. Thank you. I'm not sure if it's my stream. I mean, Twitch complains that my frame rate is like too high, or not frame rate, but bit rate is too high. So maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so where do we wanna? So how do we wanna restore the thing? So here's the load, right? Well, that just creates a save. Yeah, that just creates the save. So here we're loading. We should probably like just set the persistence state here as well, I think. I'm just trying to figure out if that's enough. But I mean, yeah. Let's just do it. Persistence state. Wait, am I? Right, so when we load it, we need to deinitialize. Yes. But we don't want to deinitialize the quest states and stuff. We don't do that. Well, let's copy this over. No. Toggles. The toggles. I mean, it's. I guess it's too similar to Moogles, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Devices. Yes. Is it? I mean, it's probably more terse to do this. Maybe. Yeah, because dialog container and let's go dialog container. So dialog container. This guy, you have a deinitialize, and you are deinitializing that. So at game init, let's check the dialog container in deinitialize. So we are deinitializing those. So we shouldn't need to deinitialize the temp save. Because but we do want to do that though. No, we're not deinitializing this one, but we are deinitializing this temp save. Right. But a temp save is yeah, because okay, yeah. Because when we load, we actually create new values here. Okay, yeah. So there's two ways we actually create the save. One is where we just copy the values from the existing state, and the other one is when we actually load it from the thing. So we actually need a deinitialize function here. Let's yeah. Fine. Allocator. Quests, initialize. Wait. Again. Okay, fine. It's probably because the type itself is not. The LSP doesn't know how to deal with the type function there. Or it's probably because it doesn't know how to deal with the built-in field types, field type thing. I'm not sure what these are called. Like, what are these called? Like at thing. What is that called? And we have field type. I don't think the LSP knows how to deal with that. Let's say you have field type of save, and the field name is dot version. Like, it doesn't know what this is. Okay, but anyway, so doors with initialize, yes. Wait. Yeah. And focus. There we go. Could add initialize here as well. Let's just do it. Man, I have some fat fingers today. I hate allow 0. I don't even know what it is, but it really messes with my auto completion. It's like how many times do you want to use that in front of allocator? I think it's just, I don't know, it's alphabetical or something. I don't know. No, it's not even that, because C is before W, so it's just weird. Alright, and now we can say dialog, initialize, devices, initialize. There we go. Alright. Right, and we take back what we did over at game init at the deinitialize function, where we say if we have a temp save, we grab it out and we say deinitialize allocator. There we go. All right. Right. So with all that done, we are now, well, we are restoring, right, so we are restoring the persistent state here. Now I'm just gonna check where this happens. So in the order of operations here, so temp load save is called at the first things that's happening when we load. Okay, then we load the scene, and then we do initialize level and all this. We do create level entities, we do all this, we do temp level, temp load 2. We don't actually, so we don't I mean, of course, we don't have a place where we restore, well, we do have, where's the persistent data or persistent state? Where is this happening? Like, where are we actually? Is it game in scene maybe? Right, here we're restoring. So right, so in this function actually we should probably do something here, because we do have self and we do have the register and stuff. So yeah, right, so yeah, let's just restore the devices here. So let's do this, self.restore devices, and we need the registry. Right, so function restore devices. Yeah, we need self. There we go. Okay, so what we want to do here, we want to look for all the devices that is currently sort of available, and for each device, so let's first we want to have the view. So we're gonna have the devices here, so that's gonna be registry basic view of c.device type. Then we want to loop through all of these, and we want to have the entity, because we need to grab some stuff here. So we want to grab the device type, which is going to be registry, or actually it's going to be devices get entity. And then we also want to get the entity ID. Right, and then we want to loop through. Now we want to check, is this entity ID stored in the map? So we want to grab the entry, or I guess, yeah, this is the state, this the cached or stored state or whatever, and this not cached, but it's the saved sort of state that is different. So this is gonna be, oh yeah, this is, we also need a switch on device type, because there's different types. Oops. And so we have door. Now we actually need to, oops, we need to have the immutable version here. And we get this state doors from doors now. So map get, right, so we're trying to get whatever it is, the, yeah, we're trying to get entity ID.id. If we don't get it, we can continue to the next entity, because then we don't have a different state there. If we have a state, then we continue down here, and so we can say, yeah, we can simply say door dot state is equal to state, and then we do the same thing for toggle. and now instead of doors we have toggles, and there we go. I wonder if you could just say, this.state equals to that. Does that work? Then we don't even need to wait, else prompt. I need to dereference there. This is kind of weird, like you're dereferencing, so technically in here it feels like you're dealing with a constant, but then you can still like grab out these mutables. I guess it's like a special case of switch. No, sorry. Toggle state. Yeah, I guess that works. Maybe. So if it doesn't exist, we continue, and that doesn't produce any value. So I guess Zig will catch up on that, and it will not store anything in state. Hopefully, that's how it works. Okay. Nice. I mean, we can even join this, but then it doesn't fit in one line. So, all right, let's have it. Let's have it like this. We could break it out in a function, I guess, but that's too much. Okay. Oh yeah. So now we're restoring the devices. I guess that's all we need. I think. Yeah, so technically at this point we should have the updated sort of from the loads from the save. The only thing I'm thinking is during the run of the game we're not really updating the save to have sort of the updated versions of persistent data. We're just using, yeah, we're loading the save every, I think, transition. Yeah, because this will actually load the save, so we're not persisting the thing into that save file. Yeah, so that's the only change here. I think when we store here, this should basically also update the save as well. So basically, everything that's after this is done, the state in persistent state should be just put into the temp save file. But I guess we could clone it. That's too much work, though, I think. I mean, let's just do it. Let's just do the simplest thing. If game temp save file we say if we have it, wait, no, temp save. If we have a temp save, we want to say devices doors. Let's first we deinitialize them, then we say that doors is equal to persistent state devices doors map clone. Okay, so now we're basically deinitializing the first one because that's like outdated. We update it with the current, latest and greatest versions. Right. it's kind of weird that we have to juggle these places, but it does have its place. Like the persistent state is because it also includes things that are not supposed to be. I mean, I guess technically we could move the logic to the save, like updating the save as well. Let's just keep it like this. Maybe we'll find a better sort of solution later. Expected. Oh. So this one should be a pointer. There we go. Yeah. It has to be a pointer anyway. Okay, there we go. No more errors. Alright, so I think this works. Now we have a couple of scenarios to check that it works. Let's launch the editor and launch the scene that we are testing with. Alright, here we go. Let's launch this. So now the game is gonna compile. Take a couple of seconds here. There we go. Oh, I need to enable my controller. Come on. Maybe I should disable these enemies just in case. Maybe I should add like a guard mode, debug mode thing. Okay, anyway, so now we activate this. Well, and we jump out and it doesn't work. Great. And we get a crash when we exit. Interesting. Oh, we get a crash when we try to save. I see. Return if U64, write U64. Int cast value. Write I64. So, okay, so does Seabird not have support for U128s? Okay. Okay, let's do this then. Let's okay, so this requires a little bit more Seaboard magic, so let's go to our dear UUID here. Okay, well, not in the game editor, in here. And we actually cannot just write this here now, so what we need to do is we need to make we need to write this as a array. We could technically just turn it into an array of bytes like this, so we could say standard memory as bytes. So that will turn it into bytes. This needs to be a pointer. So this turns a pointer into bytes. Okay. And then when we extract, we cannot just extract this. We actually have to extract a list of U8s. And wait, how does this work actually? Yeah, that should actually work because it's writing it as an array. Right. So then this would be from bytes. No, bytes as value. Value is this, and the bytes is this. Wait, do we get a pointer? Is it just a pointer cast? Okay, so we dereferenced it. Okay. Does that work? It should be like in the same order as we write it, I think. Constituate funmuate. Wait, which function is this? Extract. Okay. Wait, it expects a const. Okay. I thought it needed to be like mutable. I guess it creates an immutable string. Okay. Let's see. Super equals super strings. Yeah, so let's do, yeah, okay, so let's try it now. Wait. Let's try it from here. We could just add a God mode while trying these things as well. Okay, there we go. No, still doesn't work. And if we exit, now did we get a crash? I'm not sure. It just exited abruptly here. Okay, no crash. Let's check for leaks. No leaks. Okay, great. Could not load save file. Too short. Oh, okay. So wait, why do I get like 100 of these messages? Double free, okay. Lens beam. It's double freeing. Okay. We got a double free. Why do we have a what double free? Wait. Hi Phoenix, what allocators are you using? Welcome. I actually haven't really dealt with super special allocators. I'm just using the GPA. But it's probably because we are No, I'm not sure why we get this double free here. Yeah, this is from the exit here. So we are doing the initialize on that. Wait, is it because... No, we're cloning the thing, so it shouldn't... Oh, I see. It says both freeze here. Okay, so persistent state. Entries. First free. Oh, what is this? Double free. Allocation. Okay, this is the allocation, right? So it's allocating at... Wait. Ah, the load. Right. So that's the load allocation. Okay, and then we're freeing... Right, because we didn't do a transition, I don't think. And we're freeing the persistent data at init. So it's the same array. Well, or I mean the same hash map. That feels bad or wrong. Wait, is it because when we're... It's probably because of this. We should probably just... Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just do this. And I should make this into a function here, but whatever. Okay, let's see this now. And we exit. Oh, now we have leaks. Okay. Right, so we have leaks now instead. Okay. Persistent state. Yeah, it's the toggles and wait. Yeah, toggles and the wait, toggles. Is it only toggles? Okay, so it's the toggles. So did I do something wrong? No, this is wrong. Or in the persistent states. No, we're initializing both. Ryan Fleury also have good article talk on arena allocators. I recommend you read up on allocators, especially arena linear allocator. Oh, cool. Yeah, thanks. I'll check it out. I need to up my allocator game. That is for sure. I know that I'm doing it in a really hard to do way, but yeah, I've just been rolling with it. They highly simplifying how we deal with memory, removal, other typical memory bugs. Yeah. That's probably a very nice, a very good idea. I should do that. It's just that now I already have this structure sort of in place. I have to like sort of restructure, rethink on how I'm gonna do it. I am using, in the game code I'm actually just using one GPA for everything, but in the game editor I am using an arena for each frame. Should probably could be doing that for the game as well, maybe. I'm not sure what would have that, but this is kind of weird. Also, this structure that I'm using here, like I have a save and then which keeps some persistent state, and then I also have a persistent state struct that also keeps some other state that is supposed to be persisted through like scene transitions, but it's not supposed to be persistent to a save file. And both of those like overlap with some state. So I've also done this in a stupid way. So that's also part of the problem here. And I just I'm just adding this temporary code basically to make it work right now. But it's I thought that it would be a bit simpler than it was, but it wasn't. And now I get these leaks. Maybe I should just not care about the leaks. The leaks doesn't really bother me. So now I think I'll just leave it, and I think I'm gonna find a better structure in the future actually for this. So I'm just gonna leave this here, even though I've never left behind a leak before. It feels bad. It's just gonna leak. It's not like a frame per frame leak or something like that. It's just gonna leak like once or twice or whatever. Okay. But and also the whole thing doesn't work, so that's also a thing. So why doesn't it restore the state? Let's check out the actual save, I think. So let's do that. Let's do cbor. Oh, deserialization error, invalid UTF-8. Oh, it's trying to. Okay. I think what's happening is the Seaboard library, like the Seaboard serialization, got a slice of U8s and it thought that it was a string, so it saved it as like a sort of straight up ASCII string, which is not correct. How should I do that? It's gonna be here, that's right. So this, so can we, like, I probably want to do this, but I want to have this like as 64s and not as U8s. Oh shit, copy. Yeah, this is really ugly, but I'm just gonna do it like this to see if it works, and then yeah, then we'll see. All right, so let's do S64s. All right, then actually, you know what? What are we doing here? Let's say this is like right array somewhere. Where is it? Pointer, yeah, pointer. And then slice. If here it checks if it's a byte and right, it's a string. I don't want to do that. I want to do this part. So well, I guess we just do this. There's no right array. Like straight up a right array. Well, there is a right array, maybe. This is right arrays. Okay, so you can do this. Yeah. Okay. Actually, let's just do that. Let's do right array and then S bytes. No, not meta. Memory. There we go. Let's forget about this. Okay, cool. Right array, and then this is gonna match value, but it's not gonna match. I guess, does it have match array? No. Okay. Well, we do have an extractor. Extract. Also, do we need extract? No, we don't need extract allocation. Well, I mean, it's basically just gonna take the bytes that are in here, right? We don't really need. No, it's not. It's gonna do array header and all that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we could just do that. Decode array header. So this one has, so if it's like this part here, I don't want to do this. This is the thing. So, oh, it can't. No, wait, this is weird. Oh, because it's not an allocation thing. Okay. Well, actually, we can do this. Let's do length equals to cbor decode array header on this. Try. So now this is a usize. So actually the size has to be whatever it is, like 34 or whatever. If len is not equal to earn can you get the length from like this? Sig array get length from type. I mean, I know you can do this. You can say type info and you get the array and length. So you can do this. Yeah. So if it's not equal to that, then we return false. Okay. Then we want to basically loop. I mean, we basically just want to grab the bytes, right? We just want to grab the bytes that are in there. So I'm not sure if this is gonna mess with the endian stuff, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe. Yeah, so let's yeah, I mean this is just gonna be like UUID. So this is just gonna be this dot UUID is gonna be bytes as value 128, and the bytes are gonna be this. Right. Slice of single item pointer must have. Oh, hang on 1 second. All right, I have to go now. So, well, let me just finish this because it's gonna take a while to get into it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna finish this last thing here. So, expected type you want to. All right. So what the hell do we do about this? Is the question. Oh yeah. This is we just take this because that's like a thing. All right. And then we forget about this. Okay, so now, hopefully, this is compatible. Return false. I think we return, no, we return true if it succeeds, that's right. Right. This, we don't need, yeah. Wait. Also, we need to modify this to go to the next thing. So this needs to be modified to expected length like this, I think. So let's say we read 1 byte. Yeah. All right. Slice of single. Oh yeah. Also, if this, we should have a. Yeah, we should have like a fail thing here. So, iter needs to be rolled back in case of the thing. So, the usual way to do this is we create this, and then we create a copy here, which is. The copy is gonna be this enter, yeah, so it's just gonna be this as a mutable slice there. All right, and then we're gonna use that as the thing there. And we read in those bytes. Wait, no, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. So this is not gonna work. We need to read in the array. Yeah. So actually, yeah. So we just do this. We do UID is a thing of this or this, but it's actually an array. So this is actually an array. So this is going to be expected length, yeah, and it's undefined, right? So then we do a for loop from 0 to expected length. Okay, yeah, and then we do. UID I is equal, and now we do cbor match int, and the int is a U8, the iter is this, and the value is, oh yeah, it's this is the value, is that, okay. If this is false, we just return false. Okay. And we can also join this to make it a one-liner. Alright, so we're looking through all the things. We match the ints there. Alright, cool. That should be a lot better. And, or proper. And then we have UID bytes of value. No. Actually, no. This is gonna be. No, wait. Bytes as value. Oh yeah. So this is gonna be the UID like this. Yeah. And we have to pass this as a pointer. There we go. Right. And then we if everything goes well, then we modify the original iterator here, and we say it's going to be equal to, well, it's going to be equal to, it's just going to be equal to this. So, there we go. Yeah, we're going to populate it with that. Yeah. Right. Because now that one has advanced through the match int function here. Right. Okay. What's going on here? So you return. Oh yeah. So try. Anything else? Oh no. Expected tuple struct ornaments. Whoops. Wait. Match int. Wait, which, what? Why? Right array, tuple struct argument. Why does it need to be struct? Huh? Oh, it only works for tuples. I see. Okay. Well, let's just do it like this then. Let's do array header. I really need to go here soon, but let's just do array header. The size is gonna be this. Right. Well, let's do bytes. Actually, this is gonna be. Actually, what the hell am I doing here? This is wrong. This is gonna be as bytes. The pointer is self UID. So that's gonna be like 16 bytes, I believe. So actually, this is 16, or it's just gonna be bytes.length, right? And then we'll loop through all the bytes, and we'll do try cbar write value byte. And it's gonna be this. Yeah. Wait, why is it writing? Wait, so it only supports U64s? Okay. I mean, I guess we could make it into U64s. So first, oh my god, okay. So first it's gonna be self.uid, and we're gonna do a, okay, you know what, to do write to U64s, read to U64s. Okay, I'm just gonna write this down because I really need to go now. So I just this is the solution here. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and chatting with me, anyone who's joined here. So yeah, I'll see you next time.